This video is part of a leadership series designed to support interns and aspiring school leaders in understanding how schools actually function. Throughout this series, I focus on the systems, decisions, and practices that shape culture, instruction, and outcomes for students and adults. Today, I'm focusing on school culture. Everyone talks about school culture, but most people don't truly understand what school culture is. School culture is not a program, a slogan, or how people feel. School culture is the system that determines how decisions are made, how adults work together, and whether students actually learn. In this video, I want to talk about what school culture really is, why it drives everything else in a school, and what aspiring and current school leaders need to understand to intentionally build a strong, equitable culture that supports students, educators, and families. Strong school culture must be grounded in moral purpose. At its core, that moral purpose is ensuring that every student receives high-quality instruction and the social emotional supports they need to be successful. Culture becomes strong when leaders are clear about expectations and non-negotiables. When teachers understand what is required of them, how their practice is supported, and how their performance is measured. When leaders are consistent in their communication, expectations, and feedback across the school, trust is built. And trust is what improves adults' practice, which ultimately leads to strong student outcomes. Early in my leadership, I believed school culture was about events, themes, spirit weeks, motivational slogans, and what was posted on the walls. And while those things reflect culture, they don't create it. Like many leaders, I also believed that if the vision was clear, people would automatically move with it. What I didn't yet understand was that resistance and ambiguity are part of the work, and that responding to them with clarity and consistency is a critical leadership skill. Over time, I learned that culture is what drives every decision in a school. It's how adults think, how they act, what they believe, and what they do when no one is watching. When leaders misunderstand culture, they chase surface-level fixes instead of building strong systems that actually change outcomes. Here are a few ways that you can determine a culture in a school. When you walk into a school and hear adults consistently using asset-based language, communicating that they believe every child can learn and that supports are the pathway to success, that's a strong cultural indicator. Strong culture is visible when instructional coherence is present. You can walk into any classroom and see high-quality Tier 1 instruction, clear learning goals, and intentional differentiation, whether that is by content, process, or product. Students may need different supports, but they are engaged in problem solving, critical thinking, and meaningful learning. In a strong culture, MTSS is not reactive. Students are not responding to Tier 1 instruction. They are supported quickly through small groups, targeted strategies, and intentional instructional adjustments. When you walk into PLCs in a strong culture, you see shared responsibility. Teams are analyzing student work, formative and summative data, and disaggregated data to ensure that all student groups are being served. Teachers are also reflecting honestly on their instruction, what worked, what didn't, and learning from one another. Strong culture is reinforced when the written, taught, and assessed curriculum are aligned and intentional. Instruction is not random, it's coherent. Leaders in strong cultures use multiple sources of data to determine whether expectations and non-negotiables are being implemented consistently across teams. When gaps appear, the response is support, not punishment, through coaching, modeling, and professional learning. Strong culture also shows up in how adults speak about and partner with families. Families are respected, valued, and included in decision making, not viewed as barriers or guests, but as partners. A strong school culture is visible in how adults think, speak, and act, and in how consistently systems support both students and educators. Leadership is not about managing tasks. It's about building systems that support students and adults. In the next video, I'll focus on instructional leadership through coherent systems. I'll break down how culture shows up in curriculum, instruction, collaboration, MTSS, and adult learning, because culture isn't what we say we value. It's what our systems actually do to ensure every student receives high quality instruction and social emotional support they need to change the narratives for them and their families. School culture is never neutral. It's either moving students closer to opportunity or further away from it.